Joining us now in studio is Tom Djokovic. Tom's the CEO of a company called XsunX Incorporated. Their stock symbol's XSNX. Tom, always good to see you.
Great to be back, Don. Thanks a
Well,
lot.
we feel kind of privileged to have you here. I know you've been so busy with the carport installations, solar carport installations. You just returned from a job site. Tell us what's new.
Well, Don, just this week we announced we just finished a 157, just short of 160 kilowatt system. So it's about 600 plus solar panels, 4 canopies, in a multi-tenant office building in Anaheim. It's a great system, looks great, and it's going to produce well over $1 million worth of cost savings for the client over its warranted lifetime, and $30,000 in just the first year alone. So we're marketing these heavily. We're marketing for solar carports, for shade canopies, for storage areas, to increase work areas, loading docks for businesses, you name it. I mean, these, and the great part is we're able to install these for just practically the same cost as putting them on a roof. Mm-hmm. So you avoid having to hassle with the roof, and you get tremendous utilization of these, what used to be just open areas now turn into really valuable assets.
Well, it solves one problem too, because you may have a commercial building with a 10-year-old roof that has a 20-year lifespan on it. And if you put a solar installation on a 10-year-old roof, they know in 10 years we may have to do something with that roof. But putting it into a carport eliminates that problem.
Exactly, Don. We do run into that quite a bit. You could see when you're speaking with clients that they're thinking that aspect through. They're thinking, geez, I just had my roof redone 7 years ago, and you're offering me a 25-year warranty on a product on a roof that arguably maybe has 10 to 15 years of lifespan left. And but we do re-roofs as well, and we also do roof tune-ups. So we can help overcome those challenges for clients. But the solar carports, slash shade canopy type structures really offer a just tremendously valuable alternative for our clients. We're pushing that very hard.
Well, not to mention, of course, when you do the solar carport installation, just having the carport by itself, the carport complex, so to speak, by itself, has to add to the value of that commercial property.
Oh, absolutely, it does. I mean, you have a couple ways to look at it. These are actual structures, shade structures, covered parking, so you have that value increase. And then on top of that, you have the actual value of the electricity being produced. It's kind of like similar to in the oil industry, they have what's called proven reserves, how much oil is in the ground, and they could say, well, that's what it's worth. Well, we can tell a client, we know exactly what the value of that electricity that's going to be produced is. So it's kind of a proven reserve just beating on your parking lot or your roof all day long. We now take that, capture it, and put it in the client's pocket, let them lower their operating costs, increase their net operating profits.
Now, of course, you're operating in Southern California, California being a state where 2 legislatures get into an elevator and there's 10 laws when they get off on the second floor. Oh, yeah. Do you run across a lot of regulation that makes it difficult, or is that not a problem in your industry?
Well, Don, there's safety compliance, which there's no way around that. So we have to always make sure that we're completely in compliance with safety, fire laws, things like that. But past that, there aren't a lot of challenges we encounter because of a bill that was passed by state legislature and also one in federal legislature that's called the Solar Rights Act. And what it inhibits or prohibits jurisdictions, homeowners associations, places like that, from denying an installation based on aesthetics. So that gives us a lot of latitude and gives us a lot of avenues in and through the code books that allows us to accomplish things that otherwise maybe a regular structure wouldn't be able to do.
So you're talking about a law that was created by government that made it easier for you to do business. That's an anomaly.
Absolutely. We believe it or not, we reach into our pocket for that one quite often because we do get challenges. I mean, a typical comment we'll get from a city is, hey, don't get us wrong. We love solar. We just don't want to see it. So then we have to invoke the Solar Rights Act to make sure we can get these projects through without these nitpicky challenges that sometimes occur.
And of course, one of the greatest sales pitches that you have is that you can show a person, a client, that the investment they make in solar is going to pay off not only immediately in lower electricity costs, but once the system's paid for, the electricity at that point becomes free.
Absolutely. Well, this is the bottom line. This is the bottom line, Don. One day you're paying the utility for a service that essentially evaporates the second you've consumed it. The next day, if you haven't paid cash, the next day you're making a payment on a system for yourself. You're purchasing something, you're keeping it, you're paying it off, and you're investing in all that residual, like I said, proven reserves, all the value of that electricity. And so, right off the get-go, it's a tremendous change in how you operate your business and what that capital that that capital expenditure, whether it's just going to operating expense or whether or not you're reinvesting it in your own business. And right off the get-go, solar makes sense. And then you add all the tax benefits on top of that, and this thing is a home run.
Solar makes sense and solar makes dollars. Once again, XsunX Incorporated, XSNX is their stock symbol. Tom, thanks so much.
Thanks, Don.